Good evening, lacrosse fans, and welcome inside Queen's Park Arena for a big game number 5 between the New Westminster Salmon Bellies and the Maple Ridge Burrards. Thanks for tuning in on PlayFullScreen.com. I am Brandon Astle, bringing you all the action here tonight in New Westminster. The Bellies need a win to stay alive. They're behind the 8-ball big time here in this best-of-7 semifinal series against Maple Ridge. The Burrards leading 3-1 after a big win over the weekend against these Bellies, 10-9 in Game 4 in their home rink. So the scene is shifted here to QPA. We got the Bellies in their whites, Burrards in their blues. Both teams huddled around their goaltender in their crease, getting a quick cheer before the face-off at center. And while they do that, let's explain tonight's scratches. Scratch for the Bellies, serving his third game of a 3-game suspension, Alexis Bouquet, so that means Eric Penny will start. Also scratched tonight for New West, Jimmy McBride, Sean Lundstrom, Shane Bennett, Logan Schuss going to miss another game. Adam Dixon out, Tyler Crompton is out, and so is Tyler Kirkby. For the Burrards, out of the lineup, Daniel Amesbury, Spencer Evans, Chase Porter, Lyndon Natilla, and Clay Miller. And the starting goaltenders, I mentioned Penny starting for New West. In 4 games this playoff, he's 1-2 with an 8.34 goals against average to go along with a .812 save percentage. In net for Maple Ridge, he's been stellar. It's Frankie Chiliano, 3-1 this playoffs with an 8.40 goals against average and a .831 save percentage. Almost ready to get underway here at Queen's Park Arena. Little delay, but now Porter and Messenger will put their sticks down. And we are underway here. Wednesday night lacrosse. Bellies must win to force a Game 6 in Maple Ridge in a few days as New West controls the opening face-off. Here is Malcolm looking to set things up. Runs towards the top. Finds Mitch Jones. Jones to McBride. In the middle for Jones. His shot stopped by Chiliano. McBride gets the rebound. Sorensen lets a long shot go. Stopped by Chiliano again. And this time the Burrards will get the rebound. And they'll make their way up floor for the first time. This is the captain, Aaron Davis, dropping it off for Mike Mallory. 14 points in 4 games against the Bellies. Mallory runs towards the middle, takes a shot, missed the net of Penny, and the ball's going to ricochet all the way towards Chiliano with 5 on the shot clock. And Chiliano to Mallory, looks up at the clock, passes to Goodwin, and he's just going to dump it down behind the net of Penny. Good defensive stand early on from New Westminster. Penny is still waiting to see his first shot of the contest. Chiliano has stopped both that he's seen. Dobre on the floor with Brandon Goodwin. Goodwin led all Bellies players with 4 points last game. Now Malcolm Cunningham decides to stop and look for an option. Left-hand side of your screen, now in the middle for Jones. Jones leads the Bellies in scoring with 14 points. Passes to Dobre, 4 to shoot. Dobre fires wide. Dobre gets it back off the boards, and he'll dump it behind the net as the shot clock hits 0. So Maple Ridge will possess for the second time this game. Minute 29 into this first period. Here's Davis. This is Jarrett over to Dan Taylor. Taylor having a nice playoff. 5 goals and 6 assists. On the right side, plays it in the middle for Goodwin. Goodwin looking for Symes. Pass went behind him and the Bellies pick it up. Justin Goodwin trying to get away from Symes and does a good job of finding space and floats one up the floor to Jeff Cornwall. Cornwall leading the offense. Dumps it in for Connor Robinson, the junior Belly. Robinson, the co-MVP in the BC Junior League. Goes to Jones, gets it back to Robinson. Robinson shoots, and it's stopped by Chiliano. Rebound loose, and the Burrards will scoop it up. Played ahead, it could be a breakaway chance, but we get a whistle. And now the Burrards want to know why a play hasn't blown in, as they had a breakaway. It was Chase Porter, or make that Colton Porter. Chase Porter's a scratch. And the Burrards are irate because Porter was one-on-one with Penny when the referee blew the whistle for an illegal screen against the Bellies. And they are still hot under the collar. They want to know why play wasn't blown in as soon as the ref made the call. So the Bellies catch a break. Hodgson looking to control for New West. It's knocked free to Luke Gillespie, the former Belly. Maple Ridge looking for a reset, not going to get one. A long-range shot from Gillespie, stopped by Penny. So not even 3 minutes in, and the referees have heard it a few times from the Burrards and their bench. Here's Jones with a long shot. Whistles wide as Shiliano. Dobre picks it up off the boards. Dobre up ahead for Malcolm. Anthony Malcolm has room to the middle. Looks at the net with a shot. Missed the goal. Malcolm gets his own rebound off the boards. Plays it in front. And he gets it over to Dobre, who lets it go. And he scores! Brett Dobre opens the scoring. It's his second of the postseason, and the Bellies are up 1-0. 3 minutes and 6 seconds into this pivotal game number 5. Nice hard bouncer between the legs of Shiliano. Third shot on him, beats him. And we'll see what that does for the momentum of the Bellies, who lost a tough one in game number 4, 10-9. If there is a game 6, it'll be this Saturday in Maple Ridge at Planet Ice Cam Neely. Still a long ways from that. Just over 3 minutes gone by here in game 5. Messenger. Very strong face-off man, wins this clean to himself. So Malcolm gets the only assist. Bellies up 1-0 on Dobre's second of the playoffs. Now a steal from Maple Ridge. Here's the captain, Aaron Davis. He'll get it to Jarrett Davis, number 42. Davis plays it in for Dan Taylor. Taylor, little stutter step move. Under pressure. Comes towards the top. Backhand pass, finds Mallory. 8 seconds to shoot. Mallory trying to get it back to Taylor. Missed him completely. And the Bellies will take over possession here. Messenger going to let the shot clock hit 0. And then scoop it up and fire a bounce pass to Justin Goodwin. Goodwin to Connor Robinson, wearing number 9. He's got a goal and 6 assists in this playoffs. The youngster. Robinson up top for Goodwin. Goodwin to Sorensen. Sorensen over to McBride. He shoots one on Shiliano. Makes a pad save. Rebound to Robinson. Robinson finds McBride. Back to Robinson. Robinson to the right corner for Goodwin. Goodwin over to Mitch Jones. Jones up high for Sorensen. The rookie looking for space. Sorensen lets it go. Stopped by Shiliano. Doesn't know where it is. Gets help from his defense, who scoop it up out of his crease. And running back the other way is Colton Porter. Porter finds Luke Gillespie, playing in just his second game this series. Gillespie to Mike Mallory, being watched by the youngster Connor Robinson, who stuck out on the floor. We'll see if the Burrards can exploit this. Mallory down to the left side for McIntosh. Spin move on Davies. Mallory looking for the pass. Instead, it's shot by McIntosh, and the save is made by Penny. Penny dumps it off to the veteran Hawksby. Over 5 minutes played in this first period. Bellies up 1-0. Now here's Johnny Pearson, who's got a goal this playoffs for the Bellies. Pearson with a move. Cuts towards the far corner. Now runs back towards the middle. Pearson stops. Looks for help. Spots Dobre, who shoots one wide of the net. And it's going to come all the way back to Penny with 5 on the shot clock. He's just going to have to heave one all the way down the floor, which he wastes no time doing. And it is Maple Ridge ball as Cornwall and Irving get into it after the whistle. Shots are 4-2 in favor of New West. Defense has come to play early on here for New Westminster. Now it's around to the left-hand side for McIntosh. McIntosh to Symes. Symes to Taylor in front. McIntosh rolls one wide of Penny and goes out of play. It'll be Bellies ball with 14:19 to go. Sorensen off the bench, picks up the ball. One hands it for Mitch Jones. Jones having a great playoffs with 8 goals and 6 assists. Jones under pressure from Zach Porter. Jones one hands it looking for Robinson, went over his head. So now Brandon Goodwin has to run back in his own territory to pick it up. Still 12 seconds to shoot. Bounce pass to the left side for Sorensen. Sorensen lets it fly, stopped by Shiliano, and he hugs it up against his leg with his left arm and gets the whistle from the referee. Almost too many men there for Maple Ridge, and now the call is made against the Burrards. Too many men. Bellies bench caught that quick, and here they come on the attack. Jones floats one to the corner. McBride picks it up. McBride looks towards the net with a shot, well wide. And it's going to bounce away from Jones, and here comes Aaron Davis off to the races. Davis looking to tie the game in on goal, shoots, and he scores. He picked it up at his own end and finishes at the other side. It's a 1-1 game as the captain gets his first of the playoffs. Took a big hit to make that play, but it's well worth it as his team is on the board. A shot that beats Penny 5-hole. 13:30 to go. Going to be an unassisted marker for the veteran Aaron Davis. Now up to 2 points in this playoff series. Now Irving runs over Messenger, drives his head into the ground, and that's going to be a turnover against the Burrards. Looked like Irving had no intention to win that faceoff, just wanted to throw Messenger to the ground, which he did. But it's Belly's possession. Here's Pearson off the bench. Over to Goodwin. This is Brandon Goodwin cutting to the middle with room. Shoots, stopped by Chiliano. Penalty coming up. And then we get some pushing and shoving between Sorensen and Reed. And it's going to be the Burrards going to the penalty box for the first time in this game. And the Belly's power play will go to work. First man advantage of the game, as they look for their second lead of this first period. New West was ranked second in the regular season in playoff percentage, .433%. They're third this playoffs, .304%. Maple Ridge is first. Belly's working around the outside. Here's Jones with a shot, bounced it wide, gets his own rebound. Now Malcolm behind the net, plays it up high for Sorensen. Rolled out of his stick, so he goes back to pick it up. 10 seconds to shoot for New West. McBride. Now Malcolm has room. Fires on net. Off the pad of Chiliano and out of play. So it will be Belly's ball with a fresh 30. Now Malcolm in the middle. Swings it across to Jones. Jones to Sorensen. Quick shot goes wide. And the ball is going to come all the way down to Penny, who comes out of his crease. Only 15 seconds ticked off the shot clock for New West as Jones receives the pass and now plays it in deep for Brandon Goodwin. Goodwin to Malcolm. Up high for Jones. Jones for McBride. His shot off his stick and out of play. And no, the referee's going to say it went clean off McBride's stick, so it's Burrard's ball. And they'll look to kill some time off this penalty. The guilty party in the box is Sam Cook. 1-1 tie. 12:15 remaining here in the first period. Goodwin plays it in the middle for McIntosh. Missed him completely. Belly's pick it up and will have another opportunity to set up on the power play. Jones receives the pass off the bench. Bellies have 8 shots. The Burrards have 3. Malcolm to his left to McBride. Back in the middle for Malcolm. Now Jones to Malcolm. Malcolm fakes a pass. Lost the ball. It ends up in the corner for Sorensen. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Backdoor pass and a goal. No, the referee doesn't say it hit the net. Brandon Goodwin celebrated. He's still looking at the referee, saying that his shot was in. It was in and out in a hurry if it did hit the net. So play goes on. It's Burrard's ball, and a shot misses Eric Penny. Burrards keep it. McIntosh plays it in for Jarrett Davis. Davis's pass for Taylor's intercepted, and the Bellies might have one last chance to set up. 10 seconds to go on this power play. Here's Messenger over to Sorensen. Sorensen in front, back to Messenger. Messenger weaves his way through traffic, fires a pass to Robinson as the penalty's over. Bellies are 0 for 1 on the power play. They still have it in the Burrard's end. Dobre, the game's goal scorer for New West, sends it over to Messenger, who shoots one on Chiliano, who makes a save, and he'll get the whistle from the ref. So 9 minutes in here, first period, it's been an offensive struggle. 10 shots on Chiliano, 1 has gotten by him, 3 shots on Penny, and he's allowed 1 as well. Mike Mallory with it, sets it up for Symes. Back to Mallory on the left-hand side. He'll find Goodwin. Connor Goodwin over to Riley Lowen. He leads all players coming into this game in scoring with 15 points. Now Mallory shoots one, stopped by Penny, and he gets the rebound with his goal stick and fires one ahead looking for Donaldson. It's out of his reach. Chiliano pokes it free. Malcolm off the bench going to pick it up. Malcolm sheds the check, has a 2-on-1 chance with Goodwin. He shoots, and Goodwin stopped by Chiliano. And then a push in the back while Goodwin was lunging for it. And that'll be a turnover against the Burrards as they were heading back the other way. So a relatively good start for New West. They've had some chances, but Chiliano's been sharp. Another great chance there from Justin Goodwin on the 2-on-1. And Chiliano made the save. 10:15 remaining here in the first. Belly set it up around the outside. Jones crossed the floor, missed Malcolm. Malcolm going to get it out of the corner. Gets a screen. Malcolm looks towards the net, passes in front, well behind Pearson. And Chiliano will get the loose ball behind his net. Pearson is lurking, nearly stole it. And Chiliano takes his time, and he's able to find Taylor. 10 seconds already gone off the shot clock. Taylor finally gets it over center. Down the right-hand side of the floor, stops to set it up. Now he's able to find McIntosh. McIntosh against Hawksby. Pass comes to Jarrett Davis, fakes his shot, now lets it go. Bounces it wide to Penny, 2 on the shot clock, and the Burrards run out of time. Halfway done this first period, still a 1-1 tie. The goal scorer for Maple Ridge was Aaron Davis, and opening the scoring in this game was Brett Dobre. Here's Jones up high. Plays it in the middle for McBride. Takes a shot wide of the goal. Ball's high in the air. Gathered up by Kevin Reed, and he'll take it to safety behind his cage. 9:05 remaining. An errant pass. Lowen missed it completely at center. And Miles grabs it deep in his own end. Sheds a check of Porter. And plays it ahead to Justin Goodwin at center. And on comes Malcolm. Under 9 minutes to play. Bellies have controlled much of this first period, but it's still deadlocked at 1-1. Here's Pearson with room. Shoots. Missed the net. Going to bounce all the way back to Penny with 13 on the shot clock. Penny way out of his net. Plays it ahead for Malcolm. They still got time to get a shot off here. Malcolm runs down the left side of the floor. Fakes a shot. Falls. And he lost control. And there is a crease violation against Anthony Malcolm. Burrard's ball with 8:30 remaining. Behind his net is Kevin Reed. Reed, swim move, lost control. Messenger steals a shot, stopped by Chiliano. And the ball's knocked into the corner, not a play. Last touch by the Burrards. Close call there. Reed a little nonchalant, had it whacked out of his stick, came right to Messenger, who wasted no time. And Chiliano absolutely robbed him. Now Jones plays it ahead. Robinson shoots, and he missed the goal. Burrards get it off the ricochet. 2-on-1 fast break. Here's Cook. Slamming on the brakes. Sam Cook under pressure. Looks for help and spots Dan Taylor. 7:55 to play. Offense comes on for Maple Ridge. Mallory shading to his left. Gets the pass from Taylor. Mallory steps into one and he missed the goal. Ball comes the other way and a breakaway chance for Brandon Goodwin. He's all by himself. Goodwin 1-on-1 shoots and he's stopped by Chiliano. Falls down on his back to make sure it doesn't trickle behind him. Lost his mask and still made the save. Brandon Goodwin, Johnny on the spot, had a clear-cut breakaway from center on in. Tried 5-hole, but Chiliano shuts the door. Another great save for number 92 in blue. 7:30 remaining. Riley Lowen with it. Passes to his right to Luke Gillespie. Gillespie fakes a shot. Passes to Jarrett Davis. Davis gets a screen from McIntosh. Penalty coming up against New West as McIntosh had the stick knocked out of his hands. And we're going to have a holding call to Ben Davies in New West. And Maple Ridge will get their first power play of the game. 7:17 remaining. Belly's leading the shot count 14-5. And I mentioned earlier, Maple Ridge has the best power play in the playoffs, operating at a .368 percentage. They're 7 for 19. We're going to go 8 for 20. Big kill here for New West, who has controlled the tempo. But now the defense is going to have to stand tall along with Eric Penny. Taylor will take the handoff from the referee. And the power play is underway. Mallory to McIntosh. Back to Mallory on the left side. In the middle for Taylor. He swings it to his right to Lowen. And now Gillespie. Everybody's touched it. Lowen to Taylor. Takes his shot. Stopped by Penny. Rebound to Cornwall. He can fly. Cornwall with a shorthanded chance. Will he take it to the net? Cornwall makes a move on Taylor. Looks to the net with a shot. And he's stopped by Chiliano. And Cornwall nearly stepped in the crease. Play goes on. Cornwall hard on the back check. Gives McIntosh a whack as he delivered it to Mallory. 35 seconds gone off the holding call to Davies. Burrards have one shot on Penny. They work it around the outside once more. Here's Taylor faking a shot. Passing to McIntosh. Back to Taylor. Now Lowen lets it go. Stopped by Penny. And the ball's going to come all the way back into Burrard's territory. Nice stop by the goaltender who got his left toe on it. 1:05 to play in this Burrard's power play. As Chiliano had troubles getting out of his stick there. Now here's Mallory to Taylor. Taylor to McIntosh. Cuts to the middle. McIntosh shoots. Stopped by Penny. And the rebound comes to Taylor with a fresh 30 seconds. 45 seconds to go in this power play for Maple Ridge. Mallory to McIntosh in the middle for Taylor. Fakes, puts it behind his back. Lowen shoots and he scores. The leading scorer in the playoffs for the Maple Ridge Burrards, Riley Lowen, gives his team a 2-1 lead. They have plenty of opportunities and made good on that last one there from Lowen, who picks up his 10th goal of the playoffs. Burrards power play now 1 for 1 tonight. They scored the last 2 in this game to lead by a score of 2-1. 5:53 to go in this opening period. If it hasn't been for Chiliano, this could be a 4, maybe 5-1 game. Face off between Irving and Messenger. Messenger wins it straight ahead, takes it the other way. Messenger trying to pass. It's knocked out of his stick. And the Burrards are going to pick it up. It's Travis Irving having trouble scooping it up. Messenger all over him. McKay's there. He can't grab it. Aaron Davis will and settle things down for the team in blue. Goodwin to Mallory. Mallory in the middle for Davis. This is Jarrett with a shot. Missed the net of Penny. Ball's loose behind the goal. Miles is there to pick it up. Miles try to pass while falling. Almost got Quinn McKay. And now a race for it. Reed Minsky can't pick it up. Now he will as reinforcements join him. 5:05 to go. Johnny Pearson takes the feed. On the right-hand side of the floor, Pearson puts his shoulder into his check, looks towards the goal, passes down low to Jones. Jones, one-handed pass. Sorensen shoots, and he fired it wide. And the rebound's coming all the way back to Penny, and the shot clock's going to hit 0. So it's Burrard's ball deep in New West territory. 4 minutes, 43 seconds to go. And now the Burrards are catching up in the shot department. They have 9, the Bellies have 14. McIntosh plays it in the middle for Jarrett Davis. Back to McIntosh on the left side. McIntosh, a member of the Saskatchewan Rush, over to another member, Riley Lowen. Lowen back to McIntosh, and we have an illegal screen against the Burrards. They will give it up to New West. Brandon Goodwin runs on the floor and picks it up. He's one-on-one against Colton Porter. Passes made towards Connor Robinson. Back to Goodwin, one hand on his stick. Goodwin trying to get around Irving. Goodwin finds Dobre, but the pass missed him. Aaron Davis picks it up. Shovels it ahead for Dane Michaud. Could be on a breakaway. Michaud all by himself. Being chased from behind by Malcolm. He shoots and he hit the crossbar. Oh, a close call. Nearly a 3-1 game as Michaud draws iron. Meanwhile, Ben Davies comes back with a head of steam. Stops. Davies double teamed. Lost control of the ball. And the Burrards get it. Here they come. It's the speedster, Zach Porter. Taking a shot. Stopped by Penny. And he stepped in the crease, did Zach Porter. Back and forth we go. Both teams playing in transition here. 3:45 left in this period. Pearson trying to run around Porter. Stops. Falls. Trying to get back up, and he does. And Porter feeds it up high for Sorensen. Sorensen to the left side for Malcolm. Make that Dobre. Brett Dobre. Goodwin. Now to Pearson on the right side. He shoots one on Chiliano. He makes a save. Rebound comes to Jordan McBride. McBride. Pearson gets the pick, and that was a moving pick from Goodwin, so they will turn it over to Maple Ridge. Boy, not much room out on the floor at all for both teams, both defenses and goaltenders. Off the great starts here in game number 5. 3:15 to go. It's a 2-1 lead for Maple Ridge. Here's Lowen off the bench. In the middle for McIntosh. He shoots and he fired it wide. He was wide open. Now battle for the loose ball behind the net of Penny. Penny's out of his net. There's a chance in front and a wide open goal for Luke Gillespie. Penny gambled and it didn't work. Gillespie found the loose ball somehow in that scrum behind the net and made no mistake, and the Burrards lead at 3-1. Penny was trying to help out his D, and the ball found Gillespie, and from a sharp angle, able to bury his second of the playoffs. 3:03 to go. That's 3 unanswered by Maple Ridge after giving up the game's first to Brett Dobre. Off the face-off, Aaron Davis picks it up in the belly zone, passes to Barker. Barker turns with it in the corner. Bounces it back to Aaron Davis. Davis to Jarrett Davis. The righty slowly jogs on the left side of the floor. Davis in the middle. Has room, shoots, stopped by Penny. Rebounded Luke Gillespie. Gillespie trying to spin away from Donaldson, trying to pass, blocked down by Penny. Comes back to the corner for Gillespie. Shot clock's at 20 seconds. Gillespie over to Davis. And now Barker's dumped by Hawksby. 10 seconds to shoot here for Maple Ridge. This is Jarrett Davis. Passing in the middle for Taylor. He shoots one, and Penny makes a great save in tight. Ball's loose on the floor. And picking it up for New West is Justin Goodwin. Belly's looking to get on the board here under 2 minutes to go. And now we have too many men called against New West. Coming right back in the hands of Maple Ridge. Michaud plays it ahead for Zach Porter. Porter cuts to the middle. Now to the right side. Lowen in the middle for McIntosh. His shot turned aside by Penny. Loose ball. Belly's pick it up. Running back with it is the captain, Hodgson. Hodgson with a burst. Penalty coming up to Maple Ridge behind the play. And Chiliano touches up, and we have too many men called against Maple Ridge, so they're going to the box for a second time this period. Belly's bench hollering at the referees to take a look at too many men, and sure enough, there are 6 out there, and you cannot do that when you're on defense. So a big late power play here for New West. Shots dead even now at 15 apiece. At one point, just over 3 minutes ago, was 14-3 for New West. Now the momentum is completely in the way of Maple Ridge. 5-on-4 power play. New West is 0 for 1 tonight. Sorensen to McBride. Now in the middle for Malcolm. Malcolm finds Jones. Jones to the middle. Passes to McBride. He finds a wide open Goodwin, who fires one wide of the net. Ball's coming all the way down to Eric Penny with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Penny wastes no time getting it towards Mitch Jones. Under 10 to shoot. Jones to Goodwin. Brandon Goodwin back to Jones. Jones, McBride, shot stopped by Chiliano. Rebound loosed, and it's picked free towards Malcolm with a fresh shot clock. Last minute of play, first period. Belly's down by 2. Another opportunity here on the power play. Behind the back pass to McBride, in on goal, and he scores! Nice shot by Jordan McBride. Didn't have much room, but he found some on the right side of Chiliano, and it's a 3-2 game as the Bellies get on the board with the man advantage. They're now 1 for 2, and McBride continues his fantastic playoffs. That's his 8th of the postseason. Sweet little behind the back feed there from Mitch Jones. McBride able to pick it up out of midair and make no mistake. Now Messenger against Irving in the circle. Messenger wins it to himself like he normally does. Passes in the middle for Cornwall. Cornwall in front for Jones, and he ties it up! Give Mike Messenger 3 assists on that one. It was a stalemate for the first 5 seconds on the faceoff. Won it to himself. Passed to Cornwall in transition. Behind coverage was Jones, and he makes no mistake getting his 9th of the playoffs. And there's 2 goals in less than 10 seconds for Maple Ridge. And hey, we're tied up at 3-3. It'll be Jones from Cornwall and Messenger. 39 seconds to go in the first period. Another face-off won by Messenger as Justin Goodwin picks it up. About a 5-second differential between the game and shot clock. Here's Jeff Cornwall. Down in the corner for Jones. Jones cuts to the net, passes back to Cornwall. Now Connor Robinson with it. Robinson to Malcolm. Now they're looking for the lead. Malcolm tries a shot that goes wide. Robinson picks it up off the boards. 10 seconds to get a shot off. Connor Robinson in the middle shoots, and it's stopped by Chiliano. And there's 10 seconds left in this period, and the Burrards call timeout. So a very entertaining last minute. A very good one for the Bellies, who are down 3-1. They get the power play goal from McBride, and then on the ensuing face-off, Mitch Jones gets his first of the game. And what a Game 5 we are off to here tonight in New Westminster. It is a 3-3 tie. Shots are 19-15 in favor of New Westminster. Another Game 5 going on tonight is out in Victoria, where the Shamrocks can close out their series against Burnaby. as they have a 3-1 lead in the series. They lost last game. Looking to close things out tonight, and a good road start from Burnaby, as it is a 2-1 lead for the Lakers. Salt and Josh Burns scored back-to-back, but on the power play, the leading scorer of the playoffs, Reese Dutch, made it 2-1, so they're in the closing minutes at the Q Center. Chiliano out of the net. It'll be a 6-on-5 opportunity for Maple Ridge. Plenty of time to get it up floor. 3-3 tie. They will look to take the last shot of this opening period. And here they come, led by Mike Mallory, who races down the floor. Took him 3 seconds across center. Mallory sets things up to Taylor. 4 seconds to shoot. Taylor to Mallory at the net. Shoots, and he missed the goal, and we'll head into the second period. Knotted up at 3-3. What a back and forth opening 20 minutes. We should be in for a very good second period if these two teams play anything like they did here in the first. 3-3 is the score. Bellies leading the shot count, 19-15. We'll be back in 10 minutes' time for the first period scoring summary and the second period face-off. You're watching the WLA playoffs on PlayFullScreen.com. Welcome back to the start of the second period. Salmon Bellies and Burrards, 3-3 tie after 20. Brandon Astle back with you on Play Full Screen for the first period scoring summary. It began at 3:06 off the stick of Brett Dobre, his second of the playoffs from Anthony Malcolm, made it 1-0 New West. But then at 6:30, Aaron Davis scored a goal on a breakaway to make it 1-1 unassisted. Then at 14:07 on the power play, Riley Lowen scored his 10th of the playoffs from Dan Taylor and Ben McIntosh to make it 2-1. Luke Gillespie scored at 16:57 unassisted to make it 3-1. And then 2 goals in under a minute. At 19:05, Justin Goodwin gets credit for Mitch Jones and Anthony Malcolm. That should be changed to Jordan McBride. And then Jones scores at 19:20 from Cornwall and Messenger. And so we stand 3-3 as we start the second period. Bellies win the faceoff. Here's Malcolm with a shot, stopped by Chiliano. That's his 17th save of the contest, and he'll float one to his left to Porter. Up ahead for McIntosh. McIntosh to Davis. This is Jarrett. Jarrett Davis gets the pick, has room in the middle, takes a shot, easily stopped by Penny. And the goaltender looks for an outlet pass and does the easy one to McKay. Quinn McKay up ahead for Hawksby. One-handed float pass to McBride. Jordan McBride to Dane Sorensen, back to McBride. In the middle for Jones, fakes a shot, has space, Jones lets it go, and he scores! Mitch Jones with his second of the game makes it 4-3 New Westminster. 55 seconds in. Defender bit on the pump fake, and Jones created space for himself and fired one over the left shoulder of Chiliano. So Jones has the last 2 goals of this game, dating back to the 19-20 mark of the first period. Big goal to start things here, and New West has their second lead of the game, and are out shooting Maple Ridge 21-16. So Jones with 2 points in this game, up to 16 in the WLA playoffs. Messenger with another face-off win. Passes down in the corner for Dobre. Dobre up high for Justin Goodwin. Now the right side for Jones. He's got the hot stick. Jones doesn't have much room. Passes to Messenger. He shoots one in Chiliano. Chiliano makes a save, and now loose ball battle between Michaud and Messenger. Michaud wins it and flicks it ahead for Kevin Reed. Chasing down a bouncing ball. Reed able to pick it up in front of Patrick Miles. Reed coming down to the right corner. One hands it down low for Matt Symes. Symes with 3 goals in this playoff. Fires it up high for Lowen. Lowen to Mallory. Mallory to Symes. Symes with a spin move. Davies all over him. Makes a pass to Mallory. Doesn't have a shot. He's got 4 to shoot. Now he lost control. And that'll be a turnover against Maple Ridge. Good defense from New West as we're almost 2 minutes in. Now a pass behind the defense. Brandon Goodwin couldn't reach it. Sorensen gets it out of the right corner. Now around the net of Chiliano. Passes to Miles, who thought about shooting. Miles backs away. Miles to Sorensen. Back to Miles. Now to the right-hand side. Jones had it go over his head. Berard's picking up off the boards. Irving able to find a wide-open teammate. And that's Symes who dumps it ahead for Davis. Jarrett Davis to the right-hand side. Dan Taylor gets the pass. Taylor One-on-one against Justin Goodwin. Passes to Davis. Long-range shot. Blocked down in front. Miles all over him now. A loose ball for Hawkesby. Could be all by himself on a breakaway. Chase from behind. Leaves it for Justin Goodwin. He shoots one off the head of McIntosh. And the rebound comes right to Colton Porter. So the forward, Ben McIntosh, with a hard back check on Hawkesby. Hawkesby found Goodwin, who let a shot go, and hit McIntosh in the cage. And now McIntosh with his shot goes wide of the net. Loose ball, and now the Bellies have numbers the other way again. Hodgson gets the pass from Cornwall. Right back to Cornwall. He lets it go. Stopped by Chiliano. Ball's in the crease. And Kevin Reed calmly picks it up. 4-3 is a lead for New West. 16:45 to play second period. Berard's ball. Jarrett Davis one-hands it to Lowen. Quick pass to the right side for Symes. Penalty coming up to New West behind the play. Lowen over to Jarrett Davis as Chiliano runs to the bench for the extra attacker. They only have 7 seconds to let one shoot towards the net. McIntosh fakes. Taylor shoots. Stopped by Penny. And he gets the whistle. And Maple Ridge is going to their second power play of the game, where they are 1 for 1 tonight. Lowen scored the power play goal in the first. And the man running off for New West of the penalty box is Reed Midsky. 16:23 to go. Midsky gets 2 minutes for high sticking. So the Berards sent out the 5-man unit of Mallory, Gillespie, McIntosh, Lowen, and Taylor. Taylor sets it up in the middle. Now to the left-hand side, Mallory. Mallory looks down to the corner. McIntosh. Now in the middle, Mallory with room, shoots, blocked in front, and it trickles to Penny. And now it's an over and back call against the Bellies. That's coming from the back official. The Berards wanted to know why it wasn't called earlier by the front official. So the Berards hang on to it. 16 seconds ticked off the penalty to Midsky. Lowen to Taylor. Taylor to Mallory. Lots of room. Passes back to Taylor. Now McIntosh couldn't get the pass. It was blocked. Now it hits the referee. Comes right to McIntosh. McIntosh gets the pass, takes a shot, stopped by Penny, and there's no rebound. Penny to Justin Goodwin. Goodwin had the stick knocked right out of his hands. Fans want to call, not going to get one, and now Goodwin kicks it out of play, and it's going to be Maple Ridge ball. Good play by Gillespie and Lowen to create that turnover. 5-man unit right back out there. McIntosh to Mallory. 1:05 to go in this power play. Mallory for Taylor. Taylor shoots, and he scores. Dan Taylor with a bullet between the legs of Penny, and we're tied at 2-2. Power play is red hot for Maple Ridge in this playoffs. They even things up at 4-4. 2 for 2 on the power play. 15:25 to go in this second period, as both teams have traded goals before we're even at the 5-minute mark. Shots read 23-20 for New Westminster. Now Messenger will take it against Michaud at center. Michaud won the draw, but unfairly, says the official. So it's going to be New West ball. Down it goes to the corner for Jones. Jones switches hands, cuts towards the net. One hands it towards the goal. Chiliano with the save. Ball's loose for Kevin Reed behind the net. Can't pick it up. Brandon Goodwin almost stole it. And now the Berards run onto it at center. Reed up ahead for Barker. He shoots and he scores. Barker beats Penny over the right shoulder. And it's a 5-4 lead for Maple Ridge as they have back-to-back goals in under a minute. Owen Barker's second of the series. And it's a nice hard one in transition. Not much Penny could do there. So now the Salmon Bellies trying to avoid a Maple Ridge run. Messenger wins the face-off to himself, picks it up. Messenger double-teamed, lost control. Berards looking to get it up off the floor. And they do. Zach Porter bounces one to Cook. Missed him completely, and it comes down to Chiliano. Chiliano stops it, gives it back to Cook with 10 seconds off the shot clock. Sam Cook down to the corner. Connor Goodwin. Cross floor pass to Jarrett Davis with a shot, and he scores! beats Penny between the legs, and the Burrards have the largest lead of the game. It's now 6-4, and you can make it 3 unanswered by Maple Ridge, as that's one Penny would probably want to have back. Davis has his second of the playoffs. And that's 2 in a row that's beaten Penny between the legs. And for Davis, now up to 12 points in the postseason. So it's a 6-4 game. And now a delay here. Looks like Penny's going to head to the bench, and the call-up, Mike Flintoff, going to take the net. Sure, it's just a short rest for Eric Penny. Try to collect himself at the bench. He'll probably just stay right there at the defensive gate as Flintoff walks slowly to the crease. Steve Goodwin lunges down to Penny and says something into his ear. Probably something along the lines of, get you right back out there. Messenger on the faceoff, can't win it to himself. Ball's free for Aaron Davis. And so Flintoff might see a shot on net here. Kevin Reed with it at center. Looking for a man open, spots Mallory. Mallory over to McIntosh, now to the right side. Lowen in towards the middle. Lowen for McIntosh. Shot clock's at 7. Here's a shot. Flintoff with the save, as Gillespie didn't have much room there, so Flintoff, 1 shot, 1 save. And now Penny going to come back in the game. Flintoff runs to the bench, get the job, and now Sorensen chased from behind, gets away from Sari, and he'll run down the left side of the floor. Sari can't wrestle the ball away. Delbray shoots, stopped by Chiliano, rebound in the corner. Connor Robinson's there, he's tied up in the corner. Gets away from his man. Robinson to the net. Robinson shoots. Stopped by the goaltender, Chiliano. Nice move by the youngster Robinson to put his head down, and now he nearly stole it away from Gillespie. Travis Irving gets the loose ball. And Irving able to pass down to the corner for Jarrett Davis. Davis has a 6th goal of the game for Maple Ridge. Now McIntosh off the bench. Thought about shooting. Backs away. Plays it down to the middle. And it's nearly stolen. It's loose behind the net. Hawksby battling for it against Davis. Symes comes away with it. 2 seconds to shoot. Last second shot is blocked, and the Bellies are going to get the shot clock to hit 0. Here they come, 3-on-1 in transition. Back to the way. It's Hodgson with a shot, and he scores! Curtis Hodgson, the captain, makes it a 6-5 game. Great job defensively by the Bellies, and it's the defense man, Curtis Hodgson, on the business end, his 2nd of the playoffs. Cuts the lead to 1. Well done there by New West. Goodwin off the bench took the pass, sent it across floor, and the captain makes no mistake, and that stops a bit of the bleeding. Back and forth we go. Burrards with 3 goals in this period. The Bellies now with 2. Shots read 27-23. New Westminster. But it's a 6-5 lead for Maple Ridge. Burrard's looking to get that one back. Taylor to the right side. Penalty coming up to New West. Chiliano runs to the bench for the extra attacker. Mallory has lots of time. Still 12 seconds of the shot clock. Plays it in the middle for Taylor. Dan Taylor to Mike Mallory. Back to Taylor. Taylor's got a goal in this period. He's got 3 seconds to shoot. Here's Taylor with a shot, and he bounced it wide. And the Burrards are going back to the power play for a 3rd time this game. They're 2 for 2 tonight. Up 6-5 with 12:14 to go. And it's Mike Messenger walking himself to the penalty box as he gets 2 minutes for holding. So a big penalty kill here for the Bellies. They're usually a good penalty kill team. They do a great job when they have possession of killing time off the penalty. But the Burrards haven't allowed them to do that. They've had good possession each and every power play and have been rewarded for it both times. And now they go to work for a 3rd opportunity. Around the outside, Davis getting some power play time. Passes down low. McIntosh to Davis. Davis to Taylor. Taylor to the right side. Lowen up high for Davis. Now to McIntosh. Make that Mallory. Now Taylor with a shot, missed the goal. Ball's loose, and it's played towards the boards. The Burrards looking to get it, and we have a turnover against the Bellies as Cornwall pushed his man before he picked it up. So the Burrards have 1:34 to work with on their power play. Davis trades places with Mallory. Mallory has the ball. Up high it goes for Taylor. Now Lowen. Back up top for Mallory. Taylor fakes, looks, back to Mallory. He's got room. Mallory thought about shooting, passes in front, and it's stolen by Hawksby. What a read by the veteran. And now Hawksby will look to kill some time. 1:10 to go, and Messenger's holding Minor. Hawksby content just to hang on to it. Bounces one to McBride. Jordan McBride sees the double team coming. Passes off to Jones. Jones to Brandon Goodwin. Under a minute to go in this Burrards power play. And now an errant pass. McBride couldn't get it. Stolen away by the Burrards. And they'll get the power play unit back on. 40 seconds to go. Brandon Goodwin nearly stole it, but it bounced to Sam Cook. Cook to McLeod. Down to the left side for Jarek Davis. 35 seconds to go. They'll have one last chance to set it up. Ben McIntosh up high for Mallory. Mallory finds Davis. Davis in the middle, behind the back to Mallory. Mallory walks in, shoots, and he bounced it wide. Ball's high in the air. And McBride's there, and we have a push in the back against the Burrards. And it's Belly's ball with 15 seconds to kill in Messenger's penalty. So this time around, a much better PK for New West. Maple Ridge doesn't even register a shot. Messenger's going to come out. Here's Jones with a shot, stopped by Chiliano. Now we're back to 5-on-5. Maple Ridge now 2 for 3 on the power play tonight. Almost at the halfway point of this game. Burrards leading it 6-5. With a victory tonight, they can punch their ticket to the finals. McIntosh sends it down to the left side for Symes. Up high for Lowen. Lowen's got room. Backs off, lost control. Now we have a breakaway chance for Messenger. Looking to tie the game. Messenger in all alone, shoots. Stopped by Chiliano. Stuck out the big left hand. Makes the save, and the Burrards come back in transition. Davis off the bench. Takes his time. The offense joins him. Connor Goodwin to Davis in the middle. And a shot and a save by Penny. Ball's loose. And it's in the crease of Penny. McKay picks it up and bounces one towards Miles. Nice stop there by Eric Penny. 9:20 to go in the second period. What a game it has been tonight here at Queen's Park Arena. Dobre to the left side for Malcolm. Anthony Malcolm trying to get it going here. Malcolm with room, fakes, looks to the middle, shot, scores! He's got it going. Anthony Malcolm ties it up at 6. 9:10 to go. Malcolm's 4th goal of the playoffs, and it's a big one. As the Bellies come back down 2 goals and even things up. Shots are 30-25 in favor of New West. And you can see how shifty Anthony Malcolm is. Little shake and bake move created space for himself, and he bounced one past the right leg of Chiliano. And now Messenger with a clean face-off win, walks in, passes the Cornwall, he shoots, stopped by the goaltender Chiliano. Boy, Messenger is a weapon off the face-off dot. So Miles gets an assist on the goal from Malcolm. And it's the Bellies now with the momentum. Right now the Burrards have the ball. Here's a shot from Davis, blocked down in front. Davis gets it back. 10 seconds on the shot clock. McIntosh over to Taylor. He lets it fly. It's blocked by Quinn McKay and goes out of play. And it's going to be Burrard's ball with a fresh 30 seconds. 8:39 to go second period. Up high, Matt Symes receives the pass. Down to his left to Davis. Davis lost control. Justin Goodwin finds a loose ball behind the net. Nice pass to Minsky. Minsky up floor to McKay. McKay's got Cornwall with him. Miles is there too. Now the trailer's Goodwin takes a pass. He shoots one wide of the net. And now we have too many men called against the Bellies. Penny was running to the bench, or is it Maple Ridge with too many men? I think it is the Burrards going to the box. That's their second too many men call of the game. Last time they took a too many men call, the Bellies scored on the power play. So DJ Sorry will run to the penalty box to serve the Minor, And New West will look for their third lead of this game. 6-6 tie with 8:19 remaining. So Malcolm's out there with McBride, Jones, Brandon Goodwin, and Dane Sorensen. Malcolm ready to take the handoff from the ref. Malcolm passes to Brandon Goodwin, down to the right side for Jones. Jones been having another strong game tonight. In the middle it goes. McBride shoots and he scores! 8 seconds into the power play. You can't draw it up much better than that. McBride's second in the game gives New West a 7-6 lead. 8:10 to go in the period. And now it's the Bellies with 3 unanswered goals. Both teams have had their runs in this second period. The Burrard scored 3 straight earlier, and now the Bellies have done the same. It should be McBride from Jones and Goodwin. We'll check the official announcement. Jordan McBride now with 2 goals in this game, and now before the ball is put between the middle of the sticks at center, Justin Goodwin and Barker wrestling with each other, and they're both going to get 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike. So they still haven't given credit to McBride's first, the goal he scored in the first period. He does have 2. He will be up to 9 in this playoffs when that gets changed. They have it to Justin Goodwin as it stands right now. Either way, he doesn't care. His team's up 7-6, and we're 4-on-4. New West 2 for 3 on the power play. Brandon Goodwin takes a pass, spin move, shoots, and it's stopped by Chiliano. Ball bounces into the Bellies bench, so they're going to get it with another fresh 30 seconds. Malcolm receives the pass. Stutter step move. Malcolm shoots, stopped by Chiliano. And the rebound's going to come all the way down the floor. And a race for it. Aaron Davis could be by himself as he flips one towards Penny and knocks off the net. Penny rifles it down the floor to Jones. Great effort nonetheless by the captain as he almost scooped that in. 7-6 game. Still another minute 21 to go. And the penalties to Barker and Justin Goodwin. 7:31 left, and now Shaggy makes his first appearance of the game with a cleanup in Penny's crease. Shots 34-25, New Westminster. If Game 6 is necessary, it'll be Saturday night in Maple Ridge at 7:45 p.m. Game 7, if necessary, will be back here at Queen's Park Arena next Monday at 7:45 p.m. Back underway, Malcolm passes to the left-hand side for McBride, looking for the hat trick. McBride to Mitch Jones. Jones one-hands it a Goodwin. He's got room. He shoots, and it's stopped by Chiliano. Rebound, Goodwin again. Can't put it home on the second try. Loose in front. McBride can't put it in. 3 great chances for the Bellies, and Chiliano stopped 2 out of 3. The second shot completely missed there from Goodwin. So now it's the Burrard's turn to play 4-on-4 on the offense. McIntosh to the right side for Lowen. Back to McIntosh. McIntosh finds Jarrett Davis. Davis up high for Taylor. Taylor gets the screen, gets away from Hodgson, dumps it down for Lowen all by himself, and he's stopped by Penny. Great save as the Burrards played a perfect 2-man game there. Fresh shot clock here for Maple Ridge. McIntosh has it. Cuts to the middle, passes to Lowen. Lowen to Davis, fires, stopped by Penny, and he'll come out of his crease to grab the loose ball. 4-on-4 for another 15 seconds. Bellies up 7-6. Here's the captain, Hodgson. He's got one of the goals here in the second period. Hodgson to Jordan McBride. 5 seconds to go, 4-on-4. Jones off the bench. 1-on-1. Passes across to McBride. McBride back to Jones, but he missed him completely. Now the ball finds the goaltender, Chiliano. 14-minute mark, second period. New Westminster with the momentum right now as Chiliano fires it down the floor, way out of the reach of Symes. Robinson trying to pick it up for the Bellies. Symes able to pick it up on his back, and he sets it up for Gillespie. Luke Gillespie down to the right-hand side. Lowen for Mallory. Fakes. Mallory trying to step around Robinson. The youngster sticking right with them. Mallory tries again. No room. Lost the ball. And it's picked up by Robinson. What a play by the youngster. Now he fires it to a wide-open Goodwin. It's 2-on-0. Goodwin, Deeks, and he scores! What a play by Connor Robinson. Sets up Justin Goodwin for his first goal of the playoffs. And the Bellies have their largest lead at 8-6. This kid's going to be a high draft pick, Connor Robinson. He's a forward, but he looked like a full-time defender there. Stayed stride for stride with the best player on the Burrards, Mike Mallory. Stole it away, dumped it down the floor to Goodwin, who was all by himself. He could have sat down, redid his laces, and then took it in. He had that much time. What a move from Goodwin as Chiliano bit on the fake. And the Bellies have 4 straight goals to lead at 8-6. 5:26 to go in the second period. Shots are 37-27 in favor of the Bellies. Messenger against Porter in the circle. Ball's kicked free, another face-off win for Messenger. Justin Goodwin for Messenger. That's actually Goodwin's first point of the playoffs. Now here's the other Goodwin, Brandon. One hand's in front for Jones. His shot right on, and Chiliano makes a save. Net's knocked off. Referee says play on. Burrard's looking to counter. 5 minutes to go in this period. Dan Taylor receives a pass off the bench, takes it to the right side. Taylor to McIntosh. His shot. Penny makes a save, and there's going to be no rebound. He's been very sharp since coming back in the game after a short breather when Flintoff jumped in the crease. Now Anthony Malcolm for Curtis Hodgson. Hodgson to Pearson. Pearson. McKay takes a shot and he scores! Quinn McKay makes it a 9-6 game for New Westminster. That's his first of the playoffs. A bounce shot underneath the right arm of Chiliano. And the Bellies lead by 3 with 4:27 to go. They've scored 5 in a row. And the last 2 from Goodwin and McKay are their first of the WLA postseason. Messenger wins a face-off again to Justin Goodwin. Goodwin to Cornwall. What a run the Bellies are on, looking to keep it going. Anthony Malcolm with it. Spins away from Zach Porter. Malcolm on the left-hand side of your screen. Passes down in the corner. Messenger shoots. Missed the goal. And the ball is going to come all the way down to Penny with 7 seconds on the shot clock. And now we have a penalty behind the play as Jones was dumped. And Barker's going to the penalty box. So to make matters worse for Maple Ridge, they're going to be shorthanded for a 4th time this game. And the last 2 times on the power play, the Bellies have scored. They're up by 3 as both goaltenders, Penny and Chiliano, walk slowly to their benches for a quick squirt of water. Malcolm out there with Jones, McBride, Sorensen, and Brandon Goodwin. So Chiliano back to his crease, trying to get his game back on track. Malcolm will take the handoff from the referee. And my mistake on Connor Robinson, he actually has another year left at junior, thanks to a reliable source, Jumbo. Had a great season in Junior A with the Bellies, and an impact player in this playoff series for New West in the senior ranks as the Bellies go to work on the power play. A shot from Malcolm, stopped by Chiliano. Sorensen can't gather the rebound. Kevin Reed does for Maple Ridge. And he'll look to kill some clock. Reed stiff arms around Goodwin, falls. Reed gets back up, and he somehow still has it. It's like it's super glued to his stick. And he'll find McIntosh. Nice little display of possession there. Now Lowen to the net, takes a pass, and it's stopped by Penny. Lowen was dumped into the end boards, and he's hurt. Lowen needs a whistle, but Miles has a loose ball. Dumps it back for Jones. Jones shoots, and he missed the net. And now we have a fight behind the play. Referee's trying to break it up. I think the belly is Quinn McKay, and the other is Jarrett Davis. And I'm not sure if that's retaliation for the hit from behind on Lowen. And both benches are screaming at each other as Lowen is in some discomfort down there as a trainer's looking at him. So my guess is it was McKay who dumped Lowen from behind after he got in tight there on Penny. It looks like it's a lower body injury, and the referees will have some sorting out to do. These two teams already had a good hate-on for one another in the regular season, and now this is the 5th straight game in the playoffs. Actually, 6th straight overall, as the last regular season game for the Bellies was against Maple Ridge. So they've seen the Burrard 6 times in a row, including tonight. And you can see the rivalry in full force. This will be a big loss for Maple Ridge if they lose Lowen. And now he gets up with some help of his teammates, and it's his left leg he can't put any pressure on. So we'll see if that's the start of things to come in the rough stuff department. McKay and Davis in the box. Barker still has another minute and 11 seconds in his penalty. And yeah, Lowen not looking good, putting absolutely zero weight on that left leg. Riley Lowen with 2 points tonight, has 17 in his playoff. That leads everybody in this series. Aaron Davis doesn't look too happy. Him and Hodgson talking to the referees. So McKay gets 5 minutes. He's still in the penalty box. Jarrett Davis is making the walk towards his dressing room, holding his jersey. So it was Davis sticking up for his teammate. No penalty up on the board yet for Jarrett Davis, but I imagine that's coming rather soon. So 3:11 to go. Will the Bellies still be on the power play? Find out here in a matter of moments. So New West on a 5-goal run here in the second period, up by 3. And now Aaron Davis barking at Quinn McKay in the penalty box. And here's the penalty calls. So Davis gets 5 minutes for instigating, 5 minutes for fighting, and a game misconduct. And Quinn McKay gets 5 minutes for fighting. So DJ Sorry will serve the Davis penalty. And I think Quinn McKay just put a bounty on his back, and now he's chatting with DJ Sorry. So New West is going to be in a 4-on-3 power play for 1 minute 11 seconds. If they don't score. Both McKay and Davis's penalties will carry over into the second period. Now they take the penalty off the score clock for McKay. And is it going to be a 5-on-3? There's only 4 Bellies out on the floor. It's Malcolm McBride, Jones, and Brandon Goodwin. And so it is a 5-on-3 power play for New West. Looking to get into double digits. Mitch Jones down low for Brandon Goodwin. Goodwin to McBride. McBride looking for the hat trick. It comes to Malcolm. Now Jones to McBride, and the pass didn't reach him. 10 seconds to shoot. Malcolm takes a shot, stopped by Shiliano. And now Aaron Davis gets the loose ball. And he'll run back towards center. Davis for Dane Michaud. 2:35 to play in this second period. Dan Taylor off the bench. Belly's got the numbers here, 5-on-3, but so far so good on this penalty kill for Maple Ridge. Connor Goodwin, stutter step move, passes in front, has McIntosh all alone, and he's stopped by Penny. And the Bellies come back. They have another 15 seconds to go on their 5-on-3. Jordan McBride to Mitch Jones. Jones to Goodwin. Back to Jones. Goodwin again from a sharp angle. Shoot, stopped by Chiliano. Porter gets the loose ball. He's got the man out of the box. It's Barker, but the pass is well over his head. Ends up in the belly's end. Barker battling Cornwall. Barker just going to get away from traffic and kill time. As one penalty's over, so New West is 2 for 4 on the power play. But they still have another 3 minutes and 30 seconds on this 5-minute major to Davis. Here's Messenger up ahead for Justin Goodwin. Jones runs on the floor, and Goodwin stops. Power play is going to come on to join him. He'll give it off to McBride and go to the bench for a change. Jones and McBride go back and forth. Jones on the right side, up high for Malcolm. Back to Jones. Jones to McBride. Shot off the crossbar. Rebound comes to Dane Sorensen. Minute 15 to go in this period. Jones one-hands it to Malcolm. Malcolm shoots. Stopped by Chiliano. Rebound to McBride. McBride at Jones. Shot, and he scores! Mitch Jones with a hat trick. Makes it a 10-6 game. And Sari's going to have to stay in there. New West will look for an 11th goal before this period closes. 1:05 left. Quick passing, and it found Jones, who makes no mistake. And he's got a 5-point game. 3 of them goals. And make it 6 straight for New Westminster in the second period. And they're up by 4. 45-30 of the shots on net for New Westminster. Big face-off here between Porter and Messenger. And Messenger wins it cleanly back to Justin Goodwin. Under a minute to go in the second period. Dobre getting some power play time. Pass it to McBride. Dobre going to run off to the bench. Jones to McBride. Now Brandon Goodwin to Jones. Back to Goodwin. Goodwin backdoor pass, and Sorensen couldn't connect. Porter takes a high stick. Penalty coming to New West. Chiliano to the bench to make it 5-on-5. And the shot clock is turned off. 28 seconds to go in this period. Berard's looking to take the last heave at the goal. No man advantage. 5-on-5 under 20 seconds to go. Symes takes a shot, stopped by Penny. 11 seconds on the clock, and we're going to have a high sticking call to Jordan McBride. So that'll make things 4-on-4 for the remaining 11 seconds, unless Chiliano stays at the bench. He came back on the floor, and now looks like he's going to come back towards the gate. Nonetheless, that'll cancel out the remaining 2 minutes and 1 second that Sari is serving for Jarrett Davis. So 5-on-5 with the goaltender pulled. Taylor takes a pass from the ref, stares up at the clock, and now begins the play. Taylor to his right. Goodwin to Taylor. 3 seconds. Shoots. Stopped by Penny. Hawksby gets the rebound. And that's going to do it. Boy, what a second half to that second period from New Westminster. They have scored the last 6 goals in a row. They lead at 10-6 here in a must-win Game 5 as both teams trot off to their locker rooms. We'll come back in 10 minutes' time for the second period scoring summary and the third period face-off. You're watching the WLA playoffs on PlayFullScreen.com. Welcome back to the start of the third period. Bellies leading the Burrards 10-6 after 40 minutes. 20 left to play here at Queen's Park Arena. Brandon Astle back with the scoring summary in that second period. It was mostly Bellies, it started off with 55 seconds in. Mitch Jones makes it a 4-3 game from Jordan McBride and Dane Sorensen. But then shortly after, 4:35, Dan Taylor ties it at 4-4 from Mike Mallory and Riley Lowen. At a 5:02, Owen Barker scores in transition from Kevin Reed and make it 5-4 Maple Ridge. Burrard's got another one off the stick of Jarrett Davis at 5:32. Connor Goodwin and Sam Cook with the assists. And then it was all New West after. They score 6 in a row, starting at 7:13 from Curtis Hodgson to make it 6-5. Anthony Malcolm ties it at 6-6 at the 10:50 mark. Dobre and Miles get the assists. McBride makes it a 7-6 lead on the power play at 11:50. Jones and Malcolm with the helpers. And then Justin Goodwin makes it an 8-6 game at 14:34 with the assist going to Connor Robinson. At 15:33, Quinn McKay makes it a 9-6 game Pearson and Hodgson with the helpers. Then at 18:55, Mitch Jones with a power play goal from Jordan McBride. And so we stand 10-6 New West as we have just begun the third period. We're 4-on-4 for the next minute 40 seconds. Bellies start with it here off the faceoff. Cornwall makes a pass down low. It comes to Malcolm. Malcolm on the left-hand side, one-on-one against Michaud. Malcolm spins, can't get away from Michaud. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Now Jones trying to get it back to Malcolm. 4 seconds to shoot. Malcolm from the sharp angle has to let it go, and he's just going to dump it down in the corner. Great defense from Dane Michaud and the Maple Ridge Burrards. Another 4-on-4 for another minute, 5 seconds. Dan Taylor with it. Has room in the middle, lets it go. Stopped by Penny, he's got the rebound. Should update you on the Burnaby Victoria score. It's 7-6 Burnaby in the third period. They need to win to stay alive. Mitch Jones, 5 points in this game. Down to the right side for Connor Robinson. Robinson with room, shoots, and he missed the goal. Rebound came to Sorensen, but mishandled it. Ends up all the way back in the belly zone. And Robinson's just going to have to throw it down the floor with 3 on the shot clock, and he finds some open space. Burrard's ball, 18:34 to go in this third period. McKay and Surrey going to step on the floor in 22 seconds. Taylor behind the defense, dumps it down low for Goodwin. He shoots, stopped by Penny. Rebounds loose. Goodwin's got it. He shoots and he scores. What an effort from Connor Goodwin. Missed his first opportunity. Dug for the loose ball in front of the crease of Penny. Found it and let it go under pressure, and it's a 10-7 game. And that stops the 6-goal run for the Salmon Bellies. And the Burrards are within 3. It's now a 10-7 lead for New Westminster. Still got another 15 seconds of 4-on-4 play. Messenger wins the face-off to Cornwall. Cornwall spins away from Zach Porter. Cornwall down in the corner for Jones. Jones cuts to the middle. He's double-teamed. Lost control of the ball, and Porter picks it up. We're back to 5-on-5. So McBride comes on the floor. McKay still has to serve some time. And now a shot from Mallory stopped by Penny. Loose ball comes to McIntosh. Ben McIntosh to Luke Gillespie. Gillespie fakes his shot. Able to find a teammate. It's Connor Goodwin. Goodwin up high for Taylor. Still lots of time on the shot clock. Under 20 seconds now. McIntosh with room shoots, and he missed the net. Rebound missed Taylor. It's going to come all the way back to Chiliano. Burrards have 9 seconds to shoot. Chiliano fires it down floor, and it's going to be Belly's possession. Curtis Hodgson up ahead for Jordan McBride. Almost 3 minutes into this third period. Brandon Goodwin down to the corner for Robinson. Robinson, Pearson to McBride. McBride finds Brett Dobre. Dobre takes a shot, stopped by Chiliano, and he's got it for no rebound. That's the 46th shot that Chiliano's faced tonight. Chiliano takes his time. Finds Ben McIntosh. McIntosh has room down the left side. McIntosh shoots, and he missed the goal. Just been a little off tonight is Ben McIntosh. Goodwin down low to Gillespie. Gillespie back turn to the defender. Passes back door, and this time it's in from Matt Symes. And it's a 10-8 game. Symes wide open on the far post. Takes a cross-seam pass. And the Burrards off to a good start. They got the first 2 in this third period. They're only down by a pair. So now the Bellies are going to shake things off here. Momentum from the second period that they had definitely didn't carry over. .37 to play. See how New West responds after giving up a quick 2. Burrards win the face-off. Aaron Davis. Looking for a man open. No sign of Riley Lowen after hobbling off near the end of that second period. That's not a good sign. They're missing their leading scorer right now. And now Connor Goodwin can't control a pass down low. Ends up in the stick of Jones, who plays it ahead. Cornwall backs away from Gillespie. And Jeff Cornwall able to find Dane Sorensen. Sorensen to Malcolm. Anthony Malcolm up high for Davies, who shoots one on Chiliano, who makes a save. Chiliano looking for a man behind the defense, and he threw it over the head of Porter. And now Davies dumps Porter from behind. Burrards want a penalty, but at the very least they're going to get possession. Colton Porter's all right, shakes it off and runs back to the bench. Just over 4 minutes in. Now Taylor with a chance in front. Penny makes a save. Taylor gets his own rebound and sets it up. Dan Taylor to the right side. Goodwin has room, cuts it in front with a shot, stopped by Penny. Rebound loose. Barker can't track it down off the boards. And now Dan Taylor can't scoop it either. It ends up in the stick of Quinn McKay, and he'll slow things down. McKay up ahead for Jordan McBride. McBride to Mitch Jones. Jones to Robinson, up high for McBride. Spins away from his check. Passes to Dobre. Dobre to Robinson. Robinson passes up high for Goodwin. Goodwin to McBride. He shoots off a body and out of play. Last touch by Maple Ridge, so the Bellies, who had 3 seconds on their shot clock, will get a fresh 30. Mitch Jones wastes no time. Takes the pass. Looking for a man open. Sharp angle shot. Stopped by Chiliano. Gets his rebound, but he stepped in the crease. Close call there. He beat Chiliano on the second attempt, but the ref was right there to call the crease violation. 14:45 to play. Third period. Bellies up 10-8. The only 2 have been scored by the Burrards this third period. Here's Luke Gillespie trying to make it a third. Down to the right side for Connor Goodwin. Goodwin with a shot, blocked down in front by Hodgson. Rebound comes to Luke Gillespie. Gillespie with 8 seconds to shoot. Fires one wide of the net. Gets it back. He's got 4 to shoot. Gillespie to Penny, and it's blocked in front by Miles. Picked that one out of midair, and Miles takes his time across center. Miles, a former member of the Minnesota Swarm, passes to Messenger. Messenger to Anthony Malcolm. Malcolm looking for an outlet. Spots Justin Goodwin. Now Malcolm in the middle, takes a shot, stopped by Chiliano. Rebound, Justin Goodwin stepped in the crease as he grabbed the loose ball. So it's Burrard's possession just over 6 minutes in. This one far from over. Dan Taylor off the bench takes the pass. Connor Goodwin takes the floor. He's been taking the spot of Riley Lowen. Goodwin getting a lot more playing time. Now Symes, the recent goal scorer, runs towards the net, tries a shot, and he scores! What a diving effort from the rookie, and it's a 10-9 game. Symes has the last 2. 13:38 to go, and the Belly's a bit shell-shocked right now. The youngster just put his head down, flew towards the net and beat the goaltender. He's now got 5 in this series, and that's an effort his teammates absolutely love as he runs back to the bench. Shots are 50-38 for New West. Their 4-goal lead is now 1. Off the face-off, Malcolm with room, shoots, and he missed the net. Messenger gets it off the end wall, his shot on goal, and Chiliano makes a save. And he falls on top of the loose ball. Now Reed getting into it with Messenger. Zach Porter in there as well. And now the referee going to break them up, and we'll see if those two get offsetting penalties. Reed gets one last shove in. Yeah, things are heating up big time here. Burrard's still not happy with the loss of their leading scorer, Riley Lowen. So we should be 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, as both Messenger and Reed head to the penalty boxes for roughing. Hodgson and Michaud talking to the referees, and possession goes in the way of Maple Ridge. No, he changes his mind and says New Westminster. Reed got an extra 2 minutes. He's got 4, Messenger has 2. So we're 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, but after that, the Bellies will have a power play. Trying to get some momentum back. They've allowed the last 3 in this third period. Before that, they scored the last 6. Brandon Goodwin on the floor with the ball. Plays it up high for McBride. He shoots. Blocked down in front. Picked out of midair by Michaud. Michaud gets around Goodwin. He shoots, and he's stopped by the goaltender, Penny. Great save by the goaltender. And now from behind, Connor Goodwin picked a pocket of Hawksby. Goodwin gets away from traffic, and he'll run down the right side and wait for teammates to join him. Burrard's one shot away from tying up game number 5. Here's McIntosh with a burst. Takes a shot, and he scores! We're tied at 10-10. A 4-goal run to start this third period from Maple Ridge. They are feeling it right now. And Ben McIntosh has his first of the game. Quick little shot over the left shoulder of Penny. And it is all Burrard's right now. Still 4-on-4 for another minute, 24 seconds. Really quiet from the Bellies fans here at QPA. Faceoffs one deep in the Belly zone. Goodwin gets the loose ball in front of Zach Porter. Porter knocked the helmet off of Penny. Played ahead for Cornwall. Cornwall to Malcolm. Malcolm cuts in, stops, and he's going to set up the offense. Now it comes to Mitch Jones. Stutter step move. Jones in on goal, shoots, stopped by Chiliano. Cornwall gets the rebound and flicks it back to Goodwin. This is Justin running out to the bench now in favor of Robinson. Robinson takes the floor down to the right side for Jones. Mitch Jones looking for a screen. One-on-one against his check. Jones takes a shot that goes wide of the net. Barker gets the rebound. And here come the Burrards in transition. Barker stops, waits for the offense to come on. And now we get an injury behind the plate of Mitch Jones. He's down on his knees, wasn't quite sure what happened to him. So the trainer's going to come on and chat to him. That would be a devastating blow to lose their leading scorer, Mitch Jones. Burrards are without Lowen. Now Jones on one knee. Trying to shake off the cobwebs, and he'll get up under his own power. So we'll keep an eye on Jones. It's Burrard's ball now. They're looking for the lead. This game has been all about the runs. Burrard scored 3 straight in the first period. The Bellies respond with 3 straight right after that. Burrards get 3 in a row early on in the second. Bellies get 6 in a row from the 7:13 mark to the 18:55 mark. And now the Burrards have the last 4. And so we stand a 10-10 ball game with under 12 minutes to go. 4-on-4 for another 20 seconds. Burrards will probably be in no hurry here because they can hang on to the ball when Messenger runs out of the box in 13 seconds. Shot clock's at 13. Messenger's penalties at 9. So now they're going to look to waste some time as McIntosh has it. Down to his left to Signs. Back to McIntosh. Here comes Messenger. And now it's a power play for New Westminster. Shot clock stops at 30 seconds. Taylor, one-on-one against Miles. Bellies tonight 2 for 4 on the power play. Taylor spins away from Miles. Now comes back to where he came from. Now he'll fire it across the floor to Symes. Symes, bounce pass. Messenger got a piece of it. Symes trying to get it back. Lost control. Now he's on his back, but he still made the pass to McIntosh. Boy, the rookie's stepping up big time in this third period. Now Gillespie looks up at the clock. Minute 20 to go in Reed's double minor. Gillespie trying to get away from Patrick Miles, or is he? He's fine to just stand there, and now he passes to McIntosh. They've already killed a minute off the penalty to Reed. The Burrards bench showing their appreciation for the penalty killers. McIntosh. Back to Taylor. Can't draw it up better than this on the PK. Penalties down to 45 seconds. Taylor trying to get it on Miles. Stops. Gives it back to the right side for Gillespie. Burrards haven't even attempted to get it towards the net. They're fine with keeping it on the outside. 30 seconds to go on the power play. Gillespie pretty much stopped dead in his tracks here, right below the broadcast booth here at QPA. Under 10 minutes of play in this third period. Gillespie has it knocked out of his stick. He picks it back up. Runs away from Miles. Reed's coming out in 9 seconds, and they killed a full 2 minutes in Belly's territory, just ragging it. New West is now 2 for 5 on the power play. And if the Burrards didn't have momentum before, they definitely do now. But they definitely had the momentum as McIntosh works in with a shot, and he scores! A carbon copy of his last goal. And now he punches Patrick Miles, and he's going to get a penalty. So he might go from hero to GOAT as he's going to the box for roughing. Nonetheless, he gave his team an 11-10 lead as McIntosh has the last two in this third period. 9:19 to go. It's the Burrards on a 5-goal run. Belly's yet to beat Chiliano in this third period. They'll have a great opportunity now with their 6th power play. They're down a goal. And Ben McIntosh has that sweet shot in tight. And he's shown it here in the third period. So New West starts with possession. McIntosh in the box. McBride to Sorensen. Back to McBride. Up high for Malcolm. Malcolm finds Jones. He shoots, and it's stopped by Chiliano. Ball's going to come all the way back down towards Penny as McBride chases it down. McBride plays it ahead for Malcolm. Malcolm to Jones. Back to Malcolm. Jones again behind the back. Brandon Goodwin to Malcolm. Shot blocked in front. Jones can't chase down the loose ball. He was checked from behind by Porter. Burrards will look to kill some more time. Kevin Reed, one-handed to Connor Goodwin. Goodwin stops on the right side. Bellies can't let this happen again. Now a chance in front. Taylor couldn't get it. Hawksby knocks it free and picks it up. So they do get it back to New West with 1:05 to go on their power play. Messenger up ahead for Jones. 8:15 to play in this third period. Bellies must win to stay alive. Sorensen to Jones. McBride to Malcolm. Back to Jones. Now McBride with room. Shoots. Stopped by Chiliano. Rebound to Kevin Reed. Reed under pressure. Spins away from Brandon Goodwin and plays it ahead for Gillespie. 35 seconds to go on this power play. Gillespie looking to cut in on goal. One hand on his stick. Gillespie gets away from Justin Goodwin. Now passes off. 20 seconds to go. You can hear the Burrards fans showing their appreciation. McIntosh is coming out in 15 seconds. It's an 11-10 lead for Maple Ridge. Reed. Make that McLeod. Double teamed. McLeod spins away, but he fell. Still has it. Gets back up to his feet. McLeod kills the remaining seconds. We're back to 5-on-5. Belly's now 2 for 6 on the power play tonight. Shot clock starts now for Maple Ridge. Loose ball. Jeff Cornwall picks it up in the corner. Cornwall. Dangerous pass, and it's picked off by Zach Porter. So a fresh 30 seconds for Maple Ridge. Under 7 minutes to go in this third period. McIntosh takes the floor. Looking for the third period hat trick. McIntosh in with a shot. Missed the net. Ball's going to go out of play, and it's New Westminster possession. 6:43 to go. Shots are 54-41 in favor of the Bellies, but they're down a goal. Dane Sorensen with it. Plays it across to Robinson. Robinson to Jones. It's Jones. Dumps it down in the corner. Goodwin. Malcolm shoots. Stopped by Chiliano. And he's got the rebound as well. 6:15 to play in this third period. Every possession the rest of the way so important. Now it's the Burrard's turn to come back. Gillespie to Jarrett Davis. Or check that, that's Porter. Davis has a game misconduct. Under 8 to shoot here for Gillespie. One hand on his stick. He's held up. Burrard's won a penalty, not going to get one. And now pushing the back from Messenger. And it's going to be Burrard's ball. 5:51 to go. And we're going to need a wipe down here from Shaggy. What a third period for the Burrards. Not so much for New Westminster. Down a goal. They had a 4-goal advantage coming into this third. But they've seen the Burrards score 5 straight to lead it 11-10. Looking down at the Burrards bench, Mitch Jones looks like he's fine. So 5:51 to play. And we'll try to get a quick update here in Victoria. And we can. They found another wet spot on the floor. And it's all Burnaby Lakers. They're leading the Shamrocks 11-6. Now Shaggy runs off the floor, and that's the loudest the crowd has cheered in this third period. That's Bellies fans, of course. So we're back underway. Dan Taylor with room takes his shot, stopped by Penny. Penny's got the ball and feeds it across to Mike Messenger. 5:35 to go. Here's Brett Dobre. Across the floor to Mitch Jones. Jones to the left side for McBride. Up top, Robinson. Back to Jones. Jones's pass is blocked. Skitters in front of the Bellies bench. Dobre hustles back hard. He's got 5 seconds of the shot clock. Dobre dumps it in. Robinson shoots one wide of the net, and the shot clock's going to run out. 5:10 to go, third period. Burrard's possession. Here's Gillespie to the left-hand side. McIntosh to Gillespie. Luke Gillespie with 8 seconds of the shot clock. Goodwin, McIntosh shoots, stopped by Penny. Gillespie gonna leave it for Goodwin. Fresh 30 seconds here for Maple Ridge. McIntosh turns away from Cornwall, passes to Symes. Symes looking for the hat trick. To Connor Goodwin. Goodwin under pressure, spins away from Messenger, takes it to the net. One-handed shot goes wide. And Cornwall looking to get the rebound, passes to Messenger. And we're going to have a turnover to the Bellies. Messenger plays it up to Justin Goodwin. 4:15 to go. Bellies need one to tie. They need a win to extend the series to a 6th game. Here's Brandon Goodwin. Dropping it off for Robinson. The youngster Robinson trying to get a shot off. Didn't have much there. Dumps it in the corner. Malcolm picks it up. 7 seconds to shoot. Malcolm stops. Passes to Sorensen. Sorensen lets it go, but he missed the net. Comes back to Malcolm. His shot goes wide. And it's a shot clock violation. 3:48 to go. Chiliano still pitching the goose egg here in the third period. Here's Ben McIntosh on that familiar left side. McIntosh, backdoor pass, stopped by Penny. We get a fast break the other way. Justin Goodwin, all by himself. Goodwin shoots, and it's kicked away by Chiliano. What a stop with his left toe. Nice breakaway speed, too, there from Justin Goodwin. 3:20 to go. Burrard's looking to close out the series. This is McLeod to the right-hand side for Goodwin. Goodwin, Symes, shot, stopped by Penny, looking to get the rebound. It comes to the corner. McKay battling Zach Porter for it. Comes loose to McLeod with a fresh 30 seconds. Boy, everything going the Burrard's way in this third period. Under 3 to play. Symes takes his time. Taylor runs on and gets the pass. Taylor to Connor Goodwin. Goodwin backdoor pass to Symes. Symes up high for Taylor. Taylor shoots, stopped by Penny, no rebound. So here come the Bellies with 2:35 to go. Down 11 to 10. Penny runs to the bench with the extra attacker already. 6-on-5 chance for New West. Anthony Malcolm has it. Malcolm to Jones. Jones trying to cut in, under pressure. Trying to one-hand it across the crease, stolen by Reed, and Penny's going to run back to his crease. Boy, Jones didn't have much there. Now Ben McIntosh off the bench. 2 minutes to play in this third period. McIntosh takes his time. Shot clock's already at 13. He's one-on-one against Minsky. McIntosh probably just going to dump this one in close. It comes to Taylor with a quick shot, missed the goal. Goodwin trying to scoop it home. Stopped by Penny, and he gets a whistle from the referee. Penny back to the bench. Bellies make it a 6-on-5. Sorensen looking for Robinson. Dropped it, picks it back up. Finds Brandon Goodwin. Goodwin down to the right side for Jones. Jones to Malcolm. Malcolm can't get it to McBride. Ends up in the corner for Aaron Davis. Penny's got to run back to the bench, but the Bellies get it again. Sorensen takes a shot, stopped by Chiliano, and now Penny goes back. Minute 16 left. Chiliano's been a wall, and now Shaggy's going to come on for a mop-up. That will allow both teams to calm themselves down a bit. What a third period for Maple Ridge. 5 unanswered. They haven't allowed one, and they've done it all without their leading scorer, Riley Lowen. Shots are 57-46 in favor of New West, who are flying in the late stage of the second period. They scored 6 in a row, and like I said earlier, this game has been all about the runs. And this latest by the Burrards might knock the Bellies out of the playoffs. So McIntosh will take the handoff from the ref. And we're back underway. Gillespie trying to step around Messenger. Messenger takes him into the boards. Gillespie lost control. Now McLeod fishing for it. Comes to Ben McIntosh, who gets away. Last minute of play in the third period. Shot clock's at 10 for Maple Ridge. McIntosh going to take it to the net himself. McIntosh in with a shot, stopped by Penny. And here come the Bellies back the other way. Quinn McKay behind the defense. McKay lost it. Knocked out of his stick from behind. And now Cornwall drills his man into the boards from behind. And that'll be a turnover to the Bellies, if not a penalty. And then a scrum ensues. 40 seconds to go. And that is a big-time turnover from Quinn McKay, who had it knocked out of his stick from behind. And then Cornwall drills McLeod into the boards from behind. And Cornwall going to go to the penalty box. And that is not good for the New Westminster Salmon Bellies. So Cornwall gets a 5-minute major. So a 5-minute power play here for Maple Ridge. There's a 10-second differential with the game and shot clock. We'll see how the Bellies handle this. Back underway, Gillespie has it. And they're just going to probably play keep away for 30 seconds. Back and forth they go. Clock's at 25 seconds. Gillespie down low. Goodwin spins away, takes a shot in front, stopped by Penny, and the Bellies left 16 seconds. They'll call a timeout. So here we go. It all comes down to this. New West will pull Penny. They'll make it a 5-on-5 because Cornwall's in the box. And we'll see if they can tie it and force overtime. So they'll try to drop a play here at the bench. Coaching staff huddled around their players. 5-on-5 play. Burrard just need to hold for 16 seconds, and they're off to the finals to take on either Burnaby or Victoria. Looks like that series is going to go at least 6. And here we go, folks. Comes down to this. Malcolm, McBride, Brandon Goodwin, Jones, and Robinson. The 5 players on the floor. Penny's at the bench. Bellies have been shut out this whole third period so far. 16 seconds to decide their fate. And the referee gives the ball to Malcolm, and here we go. Anthony Malcolm to Connor Robinson. Down in the corner for Brandon Goodwin. Goodwin cuts to the middle. Double team. Lost the ball. Burrard's pick it up. Michaud with an empty net. Going to put it away. Michaud shoots, and he missed the net. Doesn't matter. The Burrards are moving on. The Maple Ridge Burrards beat the New Westminster Salmon Bellies in 5 games, and they're off to the finals. What a third period from Maple Ridge, and what a collapse by New Westminster. But Maple Ridge has full value for this series win. They take the Bellies out in 5 as we get ready for the handshakes. Very disappointed faces for New Westminster. As the Burrards fans are on their feet, there's a lot of them behind their bench. And Chiliano shuts the door in that third period. Stopped 47 of 57 tonight. Well, Penny allows 11 on 48. And there's the handshakes. Always a great tradition when series comes to an end. So last year, the Bellies were out in 4 games in the finals to Victoria. 2016, they're out in 5 games to these Maple Ridge Burrards, who were the number 3 seed. And it's going to be a lot of what if, what could have happened for New Westminster. Very tough pill to swallow. That third period just did not come to fruition.